At midnight on March 15, 2024, every light in a private dome city suddenly turned on. Towns 30 miles away saw the glow. Families rushed to their windows. Some called the police. Others filmed the strange phenomenon lighting up the desert sky. But what they witnessed wasn't just some random power surge. It was the activation of the world's first sovereign energy empire. A Gulf dynasty just flipped a switch that could reshape how nations access power forever. And the scary part? Most governments had no idea this was even being built. Let me show you exactly how this happened. The project is called GulfStar Dominion Fund. It's not a company. It's not a charity. It's something new entirely. Think of it as a private nation focused purely on energy control. The ruling family behind it spent 8 years building this in complete secrecy. They purchased land across 3 countries. They constructed underground facilities the size of shopping malls. And they recruited scientists from 17 nations to make it work. Here's what makes this different from every other energy project you've heard about. GulfStar doesn't sell energy to countries. They loan it. Like a bank loans money, they loan power. Countries pay them back with resources, land rights, or political favors. It's genius. And it's happening right now. The Dome City is just the headquarters. The real operation spreads across 4,000 miles of pipelines, solar farms, and offshore platforms. Nobody saw this coming. Not the UN. Not major governments. Not even the biggest oil companies. Now here's where things get really interesting. GulfStar controls enough renewable energy capacity to power Germany for 6 months straight. Let that sink in. One private family now manages more green energy than most nations produce in a year. They did this by buying up struggling solar companies during the 2023 energy crisis. While everyone panicked about rising costs, they went shopping. The numbers are staggering. They own 847 wind turbines across the Arabian Sea. They control 12 solar farms in North Africa that stretch for miles. Each farm is 3 times the size of Central Park. They've invested in battery technology that stores energy for 90 days without losing charge. That's a complete game changer. Here's the part that affects you directly. Remember those energy price spikes last winter? Some experts now believe GulfStar was testing their leverage. They reportedly reduced output by just 3% across their European connections. Prices jumped 18% overnight. They proved they could influence markets without anyone knowing it was them. They weren't even trying to cause chaos. They were simply running tests. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. The midnight activation wasn't about turning on lights. It was about connecting a network. The Dome City serves as a central hub that links their energy assets across 3 continents. When those lights turned on, they synchronized 400 separate power stations into one unified grid. A grid they control completely. Think about what this means. Traditional energy companies rely on government infrastructure. They need permission to operate. They follow regulations. They answer to energy ministers. GulfStar doesn't play by those rules. They built their own infrastructure. Their own pipelines. Their own transmission lines. They even launched 2 satellites to monitor everything from space. Local workers near the dome reported something strange during construction. Heavy machinery ran 24 hours a day for 3 years. Security teams prevented anyone from getting close. Delivery trucks arrived in convoys at 3 a.m. One former contractor said they built entire neighborhoods underground. Dormitories. Research labs. Even agricultural systems to grow food. The family behind this stayed invisible throughout the entire process. They used shell companies registered in 12 different nations. Every contract listed different owners. Every permit application showed different representatives. Intelligence analysts reportedly spent months trying to figure out who was actually funding the project. By the time they connected the dots, it was too late. The system was already operational. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. GulfStar isn't just controlling energy. They're creating energy sovereignty. They've signed private treaties with 6 nations that effectively make them an independent energy state. These treaties give them rights that no private company has ever held before. They can set their own prices. They can choose who gets power and who doesn't. They can even refuse government inspections of their facilities. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. 3 of those nations are G20 members. Major world powers. And they agreed to these terms because they were desperate. The 2023 energy crisis left them vulnerable. GulfStar offered guaranteed power for 30 years. The catch? They had to recognize GulfStar's sovereignty over their own energy infrastructure. One leaked document shows the terms. Any nation that signs with GulfStar must allow them to build autonomous energy zones within their borders. These zones operate under GulfStar's laws, not the host nation's laws. Workers in these zones answer to GulfStar courts. Taxes go to GulfStar. It's essentially a country within a country. The legal experts are going crazy trying to figure out how this is even possible. Some call it brilliant. Others call it dangerous. But here's the undeniable truth: it's already happening. The Dome City houses 3,000 permanent residents right now. They have their own currency, their own security force, their own government structure. And they're expanding. Construction teams are reportedly building 3 more dome cities across Asia and South America. So what does all this mean for us today? For regular people like us, this changes everything about energy security. Your country might think it controls its power supply. But if GulfStar owns the infrastructure, who really has control? It's like renting a house versus owning one. You live there, but someone else holds the real power. Short term, this could actually stabilize energy prices. GulfStar needs customers to stay happy. They'll likely keep costs reasonable to expand their network. But long term? Once they dominate the market, they can set whatever terms they want. And there's no government that can stop them because they've legally established themselves as sovereign. Here's what this means for young professionals and entrepreneurs watching this. The future of energy isn't in traditional companies anymore. It's in private dynasties building parallel systems outside government control. If you're studying energy, policy, or international relations, you need to understand this model. It's going to reshape how nations interact. The scary part is how fast this happened. 8 years from concept to activation. That's lightning speed for an infrastructure project this massive. It suggests they had support we don't know about yet. Maybe from governments who saw the value early. Maybe from tech giants who needed guaranteed power for their data centers. One energy analyst said something that stuck with me: we're watching the birth of corporate feudalism. Instead of land, they control energy. Instead of armies, they control infrastructure. History is repeating itself in a new form. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. The family behind GulfStar is already planning their next move. And it's not what you'd expect. They're not focused on oil or gas. They're targeting water. Sources suggest they've quietly purchased rights to underground aquifers in 7 countries. The same playbook. The same secretive approach. But this time with something even more essential than energy. Remember that midnight activation that scared nearby towns? It wasn't meant to scare anyone. It was a statement. A declaration. They were announcing their arrival on the global stage. And the world is only just beginning to understand what they've built. The Dome City grows brighter every night. More residents arrive each month. More nations reportedly enter negotiations. And somewhere in those gleaming towers, a dynasty is writing the rules for a new kind of power structure. One that doesn't answer to presidents, parliaments, or the people. One that controls the resources we can't live without. And one that just proved they can build an empire in plain sight while everyone else was distracted. If this opened your eyes, you need to hear what comes next. Let's recap the 3 biggest revelations. 1. A private Gulf dynasty built a sovereign energy empire in just 8 years while operating in complete secrecy. 2. They control more renewable energy than most nations and have legally established themselves as independent from government oversight. 3. They're already expanding into water resources using the exact same strategy. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. If this story shocked you, hit that subscribe button because I'm tracking every development in this project. The documents I've found suggest things are about to escalate dramatically. Next video, I'll show you the leaked contracts that prove 3 major nations have already surrendered energy sovereignty. Here's my question for you: would you trust a private dynasty to control your nation's energy? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you know someone who needs to see this, share it now. The future of global power is being decided while most people aren't even paying attention.